Let the music soothe your soul and keep you going just to refresh. Buckle and enjoy the ride from 2 to the half of the 5. Mondays to Fridays happening live. Where we gon' have a ball, you can text your guys. Let me tell you what you really gotta do. You can count on us, we come through.
City 97.3. More variety.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. It's 5:30 p.m. Welcome to Eyewitness News, live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Nanatufo Boateng, and this evening I am here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
This is a bold decision by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to get these machines for us. Is it not amazing for somebody to wake up at dawn and take the battery off? It's something I can't understand.
Shocking as battery on one of the trucks distributed to the Asante Akem Municipal Assembly under the government's District Road Improvement Program is stolen. Also coming up, minority in Parliament accuses NPP government of deploying soldiers to intimidate voters ahead of the 2024 elections under the guise of enforcing the ban on grain exports. And later,
sometimes when you hear people talk about as for Ghana we don't produce anything, as for Ghana we are not doing anything, it's a flawed statement. It's probably because you stay at home and you don't visit exhibitions like these, so you don't even know what is on the market.
The much anticipated exhibition and fair for local SMEs and indigenous businesses, Channel 1 TV and Citi FM's This is Ghana exhibition kicks off tomorrow at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News, but later in business.
Chamber of Petroleum Consumers forecasts sustained decline in prices of petroleum products in the coming days.
Eyewitness News is live across the globe on all our affiliates, including Premier 100.5 FM, Beach 105.5 FM, and Sky Power 93.5 FM, all in Takrade in the Western region. We're live in the Bono region on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyane. Join us in the Ahafo region on Hammers Radio 106.5 FM in Goso. We're live in the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, on Orange 107.9 FM. Join us in the Volta region on Akpeni Radio 96.7 MHz in Pando and Heritage 107.3 FM in Hohoi. Up in the Northern region, this is Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. You're listening to us live on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu in the Upper East region. You're welcome to Westlink 88.1 FM in Laura in the Upper West region. And hello to you on Eagle 94.1 FM in Waliwali in the Northeast region. The show is also live around the globe on citynewsroom.com. Your comments are welcome via WhatsApp line 0549 986 996. Send us your thoughts, your comments, and contributions. We'll begin the bulletin with Eno Safo.
A tipper truck, part of the District Road Improvement Project equipment, had its battery stolen by unknown individuals in Konongo, Asante Achim Central Municipality. The equipment had been parked at the Asante Achim Central Municipal Assembly premises while authorities awaited the completion of training for the machine operators. However, during a routine test on Thursday, officials discovered that the tipper truck's battery was missing. Assembly officials were shocked by the incident and have since reported the theft to the police. Municipal Chief Executive for Asante Achim Central, Robert Yaokwache, condemned the act, stating that such actions could undermine the government's efforts.
You can't understand people. You can't understand people. We are the same people crying that the government should come in and help us fix our roads. This is a bold decision by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to get these machines for us. Is it not amazing for somebody to wake up at dawn and take the battery off? It's something I can't understand. And I'm sounding a word of caution to the people around. They should understand that the machines are to work for them. They should be part of the people that will protect these machines instead of them helping. If they are not doing that, then I'm cautioning them. They should stay away from the machines because our eyes are on it. Now we have given the security to protect. We've come to realize that the kind of thinking people are having is something else that we cannot understand. So our eyes are on the machine, so people should stay away from it. If they cannot help us protect it and use it to the benefit of the people, they should rather stay away from it. Okay, we have not started with the machines, and the training of the operators will start. Yes, it started yesterday. The first group went there yesterday, and Ashanti region has been zoned into 3, and we are part of the 3rd group. So they will report on Monday. So we are waiting for the training to be over. It's a 3 days kind of workshop they are organizing and training them. And the moment they come back, we just start. There are so many problems with our roads this place. So if we are fortunate to get the machines, it means that there's no need for us to waste much time. So just the moment they finish with the training, the machines will be on site and will begin to work on the roads that needs rehabilitation. We work on them. Where as for Asante Achem Central, it's left with a backhoe, and we are waiting until when the instruction comes that we should come for it, and we will straight away go for it and then use it. So definitely we have majority of the machines with us now, so we can start something. So the moment they finish with the training, like I've told you, we will get on grounds and then begin to work on the roads.
Municipal Chief Executive for Asante Achem Central, Robert Yaokwachi.
Let's go over the phone lines and speak to Ashanti Regional Correspondent Hafiz Tijani to give us a better understanding of how this happened. Good evening, Hafiz, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening, Nana.
Good to have you. Now, if you're able to kindly give us the backstory as to how this battery was stolen.
So, Friday, last week Friday, the Ashanti Regional Minister invited all the MMDCEs to the Regional Coordinating Council and handed over this equipment to them. So for those who are within Kumasi, some of them were able to take the equipment to the various assemblies, and those outskirts within the week they also did there. So Asante Achem Central, which has Konongo as its capital, also had there. So they took the machines there and packed it at the premises of the assembly. And when you look at the assembly's premises, you realize that if not someone who be frequenting there, it's not so easy for just someone to go in there, because where the machines are packed at a place that even if someone is coming close, they are able to identify. But the assembly officials are even shocked at how someone has been able to remove the battery from one of the trucks, that is the tipper truck.
Hafiz.
And they suspect
Hafiz.
that this was, yes.
Hafiz, describe to us the nature of the premises so we can have a better understanding of how this happened.
Well, so the assembly is a square kind of compound area, and you have vehicles, a lot that has been created for the officials, the coordinating director, the financial officer, the DCE or the MCE to park their vehicles. apart from the lot, you have another place where offices are located. Is a two-story building where offices are located at the ground floor, and there are other officers who park their vehicles there. But because of the drip equipment, they had also packed or removed some of the vehicles that used to park in front of the main entrance to the MC's office. That would take you to the MC's office. And they have parked some of the drip vehicles there and also parked some close to the main parking lot of the assembly. So it's difficult for someone not to be seen if they are close to the vehicle. So it's a very, very shocking news for the assembly officials. They say that this was done at the blind side of everyone, and the MC, you heard him there, said it was done maybe at dawn where no one was there, because they had come to look at the machines. You know, the training is ongoing, and they would have to be checking the machines to see their state before they can even deploy them onto the various communities to use them for the intended purpose. So that was when they got to know that the battery of the tipper truck was missing, and they had to make an official complaint to the police, which is currently investigating.
Right. Now, Hafiz, did the MCE mention to you whether or not any preliminary investigations had been taken and what it's pointing at?
Well, for now, he can't say. He said the police have begun investigation. He has not had anything from the police yet, and he's hoping that someone who has done that would be arrested. He said if someone is arrested, it's likely that they can point to other people, whether there are some people who were part of the operation, whether there are some accomplices who were part of this. But he says that for now, they are leaving the police to investigate the matter, so that in their investigations, whatever they find, the assembly will take up the matter.
All right, thank you very much, Hafiz Tijani. Hafiz is a Ashanti regional correspondent, and he engaged the MCE for the Asante Achim Central Municipality regarding that stolen battery on one of the tracks under the District Road Improvement Project. Let's speak to the Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Vincent Asafua. Good evening, sir, and thank you for your time.
Good evening, sir.
Good to have you. Now, has this matter of a stolen battery on one of the machines under the DRIP initiative reached your office, and what do you make of this?
Well, let me say a very good evening to your cherished viewers. Nothing official, as we speak, has been communicated through the right channels to the Ministry of Local Government. However, some engagement unofficially has been done on my part. My minister is on the field as we speak. I have called for an official briefing from the assembly so that I could discuss with my minister. Then upon my minister's directives, we will know how to deal with the matter. In the interim, we've already asked the assembly to report the matter to the police. I'm told that that has been done. And so there is some amount of investigation that is already ongoing. We hope to bring the perpetrators to book as soon as possible. And we trust the Ghana Police Service to do what they do best. So as we speak, nothing official to the desk of the Ministry of Local Government.
Honorable, has there been any directives from the ministry to the various assemblies regarding security, considering the nature of this project, and then also how most of our assemblies are structured, bearing in mind that not all of them are gated?
Well, so this brings us back to the issue where we have an opportunity to share more light on how we want to safeguard these equipment. I think about a day or two before the final inauguration here in Accra by the President of the Republic, I remember the ministry and the DACF met with all the MMDCs, and they were briefed as to how the management of these equipment will have to be done. There was a 5-member committee at the various districts or municipals to be able to ensure that there is some amount of security as far as these equipment are concerned. So we have the DC or the MC being the chair to the committee. The member of parliament is also a member of the committee. We have the works department also having their rep, or if you like, their leader as part of the committee. And we have 48 Engineer Regiment also part of the committee. So this committee is supposed to ensure that safeguarding the equipment is their topmost priority. And so maybe because this is so much at the early stages, we may have to, as it were, engage the committee first and foremost to know what really transpired. But I know that the collaboration between the committee, i.e. the assembly, and the Ghana Police Service should be able to give us some good results so that we know how this matter happened. The ministry is very much interested in making sure that we are briefed so that we can deal with how this thing happened. And we can also forestall future happenings of this kind.
But how worried is the ministry about this incident? Although, well, I mean, one happening, this being the first time and may perhaps be insignificant, but how worried is the ministry considering the importance of the project itself? That's the DRIP.
Of course, we are worried, especially when it is also at the early stages, more especially when the machines or the equipment are yet to even start work. As I said, it's at the early stages yet. Nothing official has been communicated to us. We would want the assembly to communicate through the proper channels to the ministry, as I've already directed the assembly, so that we will know what really transpired and how we can deal with the matter. I'm sure that there should be a prima facie establishment by the Ghana Police Service if the assembly is able to help the Ghana Police Service to be able to go through a proper investigation. We may even, at the interim, need such prima facie establishment to know how this happened so that we can plan and see how best we can forestall future happenings of this kind.
Well, in the event of an official complaint or official report being made to the ministry, considerations such as a sabotage, is this something you'll be looking at?
Of course, it may also fall in place. However, it may be improper for me on my side, especially considering my profession as a lawyer. It is going to be very unprofessional on my part to just conjecture and say that this is because of this. I am open, and I'm sure my minister is also open to see how best we can be briefed. If we are briefed based on the reports that will come from the Ghana Police Service and the Municipal Assembly, then based on that, we will know that this is what really transpired or this is what happened. And in the absence of that, we can only conjecture, and that cannot be a basis for any sanctions or any actions from the Ministry of Local Government. At this moment, we can only wait for an official communication from the Assembly.
Very well. Thank you so much, Honorable. But before we let you go, and on a lighter note or a lighter side, we've seen you on social media convincing a gentleman in the apparel of an opposing party to put on yours. Are you able to tell us what that was about?
Well, I think on Saturday, as part of my usual ritual, where when I get to the constituency, I'm able to engage the young men over there, especially the youth, let me put it that way. I saw this man who was in a normal shirt at the time. I remember I had already seen a video of him in an NDC shirt. But I know him very well, right from infancy. We've been very close, and I know that he's someone who has been a supporter of the New Patriotic Party. And so when I engaged him, he told me a common child, that is how he put it. And I said, oh, okay, if that is the case, I don't think you should have so much of a problem because I am your friend. And so if you want us to have any discussions, you can come for us to have that discussion. And he said, oh, no, when I'm a mini cramp, and I'm a chef for phone chef. And that is what you saw in that video. So it's nothing really serious. But of course, as part of our engagement with people, we try as much as possible to make sure that we avail ourselves to them and listen to their worries, listen to what they also want to be addressed from their MPs. And so that's what you saw in the video.
Very well, Honorable. Thank you so much for your time this evening, and we wish you well.
Thank you.
Vincent Safua is the Deputy Minister for Local Government and Rural Development. Let's take a look at some of your messages that have come in so far. This one from Emil Akwensivi in Kpandu says, "Oh, Ghana, my beloved country, is a drip program another create, loot and share? Ghana, I am Mobododo, you say." Akapol Jr. from Ahafumim says, "How could any rational being decide to take away a part of an equipment meant for development in an area? This is a clear sign of sabotage at its highest degree, and the perpetrators of such heinous crimes must be brought to book." Okay. Abid National says, what happened to the trackers that they were talking about? They should use it to arrest the thieves. Wahab Damba in Tamale rather says, "Good evening. The drip has come to make sure that our inner city roads are well constructed. Why will someone steal a part of such equipment? This is why it is difficult for Ghana to grow as a country." Dr. Baumia for continuity, you say. Jones Adoboy from La says, "Good evening, Nana. This must be condemned by all. Rather unfortunate, Ghanaians are not angry enough." There's a question here that says, "Please, are there no security personnel at the premises, even if the place is not gated?" This is Tommy from Pig Farm asking that question. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. When we come back, minority in Parliament accuses NPP government of deploying soldiers to intimidate voters ahead of the 2024 elections and at the guise of enforcing the ban on grain exports. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the details.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. And what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay way now open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish Magobe fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand the Magobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the Gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care, and the joy live.
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. OBRNT. Amafo. Madam was Sibebre. When him baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's bring you some more stories. The minority in Parliament has condemned the government's deployment of military personnel to border towns to enforce the grain export ban implemented due to the dry spell in the northern regions. They questioned the necessity of the military involvement, suggesting there is no evidence that immigration and customs cannot enforce the ban. The minority accuses the government of voter intimidation ahead of the 2024 elections, drawing parallels to similar deployments in Volta and Oti regions during the 2020 elections. Now, joining us via telephone is a member on the Defence and Interior Committee of Parliament, James Agauga. Good evening, Honourable.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Honourable,
thanks for having me.
Right, let's get straight to it. And this allegation you're making, what really is the basis for such an allegation?
The basis is simple and straightforward. We condemned the government for bypassing the immigration service, the customs service, whose statutory duty it is to protect, to police, and manage our borders. By deploying the military to enforce a ban on the exportation of grain, as announced by the Minister for Food and Agriculture and ably supported by the Minister for Defense. At least, at the barest minimum, those two gentlemen ought to have established the basis for the deployment of the military. Is it the case that the customs service, the immigration service, whose traditional role it is to ensure that smuggling doesn't take place, would be overwhelmed to warrant the involvement of the military? I mean, they did not adduce any evidence to warrant the use of the military for the enforcement of a ban on the exportation of a grain. Look, we cited a classical example of how politicians ought to behave when Nigeria encountered a similar situation, which was drought-related. That country's President Tinubu ordered the Customs Service of Nigeria to enforce the ban. So, how different is it? What is it that is so fundamentally different from what obtains in Nigeria? So that in Nigeria, the President ordered the Customs Service to enforce a similar ban. And yet in Ghana, we are saying that, let's use our military to enforce the ban. Why are we not abusing our military? What is the real motivation of this government? And we came to the conclusion that government's motivation is simply to intimidate, inspire fear in voters who are sympathetic to the NDC in the border regions.
Hello, Honorable.
Yes, hello.
Yes, would you not agree that these are not normal times? There's a looming food crisis, for which reason there's the need to take some urgent steps to enforce some of the measures that have been announced. And, of course, the military deployment to augment and not necessarily to say that the customs and the immigration are not up to the task of enforcing the ban. We all know how porous our borders are. Would you not agree that this is an emergency, and for which reason it is prudent to deploy the military to assist the customs and the immigration?
Nigeria had a similar emergency, and I'm saying that this is a neighboring nation. They ordered the customs to enforce the ban. Now, the customs, immigration, day in, day out, have they not been dealing with smugglers? What is so unique about the enforcement of the ban on the exportation of grain? In any case, was this policy well thought through? Have you considered the fact that Ghana imports plantain from Ivory Coast? We rely on Burkina Faso for tomatoes. We rely on Niger for onions. Now, look, our ambassador in Ouagadougou, the Boniface Gambila, Ambassador Boniface Gambila, who is a member of this Akufo-Addo Bawumia-led government, has actually come out and raised red flags. He says, we did not think about the fact that Burkina Faso exports grain to Ghana. So, with the closure of our borders, if we have decided that we're going to introduce a ban, are we not going to be saddled with reprisals? You think Burkina Faso will not want to reciprocate? I mean, in equal measure. Ivory Coast wouldn't want to reciprocate in equal measure. So, to start with, I don't think that this policy was well thought through. But to compound matters, I made the point, and let me repeat myself, that the Minister for Defense and Honorable Brian Achampong did not, by any stretch of imagination, right, demonstrate that the matter would be beyond the capacity of the immigration service and the customs service. They did not. So let us not think for them. We're saying that, look, when we are communicating with the people of this country, to whom they are accountable, they must be straightforward. I mean, with us. What is the real motivation? And I'm saying that, listen, in the run-up to the 2020 elections, they made similar deployments in the Volta region and Oti region under the pretext that there was some secessionist threat. Right after the elections, the so-called secessionist threat evaporated. How do we justify that? So we're saying that we have become well enlightened with their schemes, okay, with some of their, orchestrations to ensure that voters are intimidated and scared. And we're saying that these things would only happen when elections are close. You see, let's not discredit our immigration service and customs service. At the least, you want to deploy your armed forces. Why? We made the point. The armed forces are not themselves happy with the way and manner we are using them. So let us desist from using the military to achieve the parochial political objectives of the MPP. It is very dangerous.
Honorable, had it not been an election year, had this directive come in any other year than an election year, would we have still had these suspicions? I will
still have issues. My brother, I will still have issues. Look, it was in 2016, sometime in February, March, thereabout, that we reenacted the Immigration Service law, right? The current law we have, the Immigration Service Act 2016. We reenacted it and gave the Immigration Service some ability to function more efficiently and effectively along our borders. They used not to be armed, but we made provision in their new law for the Immigration Service to be armed so that they can properly function as our first line of defense. Now, when there is no evidence that your first line of defense is not capable of handling certain situations, why do you want to introduce the military, whose mandate is to defend the territorial integrity of our country, whether by land, sea, or air? How does this matter concern our territorial integrity? But in any case, we're saying that they have not demonstrated that the immigration service and the customs service are not capable of enforcing a ban on exportation. Please, do you need to deploy, armored vehicles, fighter jets to enforce a ban? We have those who patrol our borders day in, day out. Let them perform their role. And when it becomes obvious that they would not be able to, deliver, then the question of having to involve the military, which is noted for having, the ability to project superior force, can then be brought in. But in the absence of any such thing, you see, we are very suspicious about government's motives. And we're saying that it is not far-fetched to link what they are trying to do now to what happened in 2020 in the Volta region and OT regions. So, for the sake of peace and the security of our country, we're sending a word of caution to this government. They cannot take the sovereign will of the people of this country for granted. They cannot. In 2016, when the NDC lost power, we handed over peacefully to them. If it has become obvious that they are about to lose power, look, when they lose, let them not begin to do things with the hope that they can undermine the will of the people of this country. That is the word of caution we are sending to them.
Very well, Honorable. Now, you're doubting the true intentions of the government. However, you are very emphatic with your allegations. How do you foresee this intimidation happening? What will be the strategy that will be employed to intimidate the voters in this particular area?
You see, there was a time when this government massively deployed troops to prevent people from supposedly transporting or exporting coronavirus from Togo, which had fewer infections than Ghana, into Ghana. Look at the irony. But this was around, the elections. And the real motivation was to deny eligible Ghanaian voters the opportunity to enter Ghana and exercise their franchise. Now, once bitten, twice shy. We're saying that we are guided by those examples. And so no amount of scheming, they will not get away with any attempt to, exploit the drought-related crop failures and then use that as a basis to deploy our armed forces. They should stop it.
Very well. Now, Honorable, you're also asking for timelines. Well, what would be the most ideal timeline regarding this issue?
A question was posed to me when I addressed the press conference. That was I suspicious about the fact that they failed to give us timelines for the deployment, as in when the troops would be recalled and so on and so forth. And I then responded by saying categorically that the fact that they did not even give us timelines further heightens our suspicions. If the deployment was genuine, they should be telling us how long it will take to resolve the potential food crisis and when the troops will be recalled. But you see, these people have the elections in mind, so they cannot fix timelines. And that should concern all of us. And that is why we think it is important to sound alarm bells and let them do the right thing. Let the immigration service do their work. The only time you bring in your military is when, those paramilitary groups have been overwhelmed or have shown that they are not capable of delivering on the mandate bestowed on them by Parliament.
Very well, Honorable. Now, one will also ask or will want to find out that really, will it be the work or within the remit of the immigration or the customs to enforce such a ban?
Absolutely. Why not? Listen, look at what's the core mandate of the immigration service? Beyond granting permits for people to reside and live in this country, the issuance of visas, one of the core functions of the immigration service is to manage and patrol our borders. Okay? So if you are involved in drug-related offenses, you want to smuggle goods in order to evade, the payment of appropriate taxes, you have the customs service, which complements the role of the immigration service. These two services are very critical. So, if you decide that you're going to deploy the military, then there has to be a basis grounded on the fact that those two agencies are not capable of enforcing a ban on the exportation of grain. But they haven't done that. They have not even held any broad consultations within the framework of ECOWAS. So their own ambassador, who is a member of this government, who represents us in Ouagadougou, raised red flags. Do you see where we're coming from? So, my brother, that is the situation.
Right. Now, Honorable, do I get the sense that you are also actually against the ban itself?
Well, I'm saying that the ban was not well thought through. The ban itself is even problematic. Beyond the attempt to draw in the military, which in my estimation is a calculated attempt to intimidate voters, which is the real motivation for the deployment anyway. We're saying that even the ban, have you considered the cost of deploying the military? You're going to deploy the military across all our border towns. Come to think about the cost that will be associated with such deployment. You don't think the cost for deploying the military could even exceed the cost of the grain we're seeking to protect within our country? Already, this government has written to the chairman of the finance committee seeking to draw funding from the contingency fund to help alleviate any potential food shortages and crises in our country. Now let them tell you how much it will cost them to deploy our military along the border. A lot of money. You could use those monies to actually breach any gaps which may exist in terms of our buffers, So we're saying that the motivation behind the deployment of the military is aimed at shoring up the political fortunes of the MPP. Other than that, it doesn't make any sense at all at this moment to be talking about deploying the military to enforce a ban on the exportation of grain. With the greatest of respect, this doesn't make sense at all.
Very honorable. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Grateful. Honorable James Agalga is a member on the Defense and Interior Committee of Parliament. Enusafo will bring us some other stories.
Yeah, so the minority in Parliament has criticized the release of 50 million cedis to the West African Examination Council as insufficient. The Ministry of Education announced the payment after the minority warned that delays could disrupt the 2023 West African Senior School Certificate examination. The ranking member on the Education Committee, Peter Nochu-Kotoi, in an interview with City News says they will continue to pressure the government to clear the over 100 million cedis in outstanding arrears.
Over 200 days. It's not difficult to talk on universities. So we will continue to talk on behalf of WAEC so that the right thing is done at the right time. For our pupils and candidates also to get their results in time and then go back to school or resume the next academic year or program successfully. So we will continue to press go and make demands on the government to make sure that all areas are cleared before the end of.
Ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Nochu Kotoi. NPP flag bearer Dr. Mohammed Bawumia has slammed John Mahama for some of his ideas, including the inclusion of nightclubs in his 24-hour economy policy. According to Dr. Bawumia, the NDC flag bearer does not have policies that will lead to the development of the country. Addressing party faithfuls at a community connect in the Dom Kwabenya constituency, Dr. Bawumia noted that his policies will result in an upgrade of Ghana.
We are bringing a new Ghana. We are upgrading Ghana. We are upgrading Ghana. We are going to a new level. Usha, Mini Oman Penny Dada, Ono dear, Nazi and they say, Nkukon kitting. Sa economy now can.
John Mahama has only 4 years to govern, and his 24-hour economy policy is not even clear. He may not govern as expected. However, since I will need to contest again, I will be more accountable.
Dr. Mohammed Bawumia is NPP flag bearer. Now, the convener for the Locked Up Investment Holders Forum, Dr. Eduanane Entry, has called on the government to increase the funds allocated to aggrieved customers. This follows the release of 700 million cedis to fund managers after months of protests by the affected customers. Dr. Anani Entry stated that they will continue picketing at the Finance Ministry to demand their share of the funds.
So we have said that they should reduce that 2.3 so that they will free some money and add it to this 200 million for it to be able to go around and get a little relief to customers of companies whose licenses are still valid. They have not revoked their licenses. They are operating, but they cannot operate. And Bank of Ghana say, until the provision is made, I cannot revoke this license, because if I revoke, customers will come to me and ask for their money, and I wouldn't be able to tell them where to go for their money. So that is the problem we have now. And we will say we will continue to pick it until that is resolved.
Convener for Locked Up Investment Holders Forum, Dr. Edu Anane Enchi. The National Media Commission has issued a warning to the public to be vigilant about foreign information manipulations and interference ahead of the December elections. FIMI is a tactic used by foreign entities to destabilize peace during the election period. Speaking at the National Youth Party Leaders Conference, Executive Secretary of the Commission, George Sapong, says institutions vital to the country's peace and stability are being targeted. He asks Guineans to be cautious when sharing information on social media.
It could be true that there are people who have legitimate concerns about the council, and the virality with which it moves is pushed by foreign agents. Sometimes there are people behind us, not from this country, who are helping you to destroy your nation. But you feel satisfied that you put something out and it is going viral. And if we told you that somebody is manipulating your information, you would argue with us because you would believe that it is your communication strategy that is working. So you become unwitting pawns in the hands of people. The other side we talked about is weaponizing ego explosion. Every one of us thinks we are intelligent. Every one of us thinks that we know. I want to end and just say that I did these things to draw your attention to the complexity of the distortions that you are going to see in the information system.
You heard the Executive Secretary of the National Media Commission, George Sapong. Convener for the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Ken Ashigbe, has commended Asante Hene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II for destooling 2 chiefs for indulging in illegal mining activities. According to him, the relevant authorities in charge of curbing such activities are complicit, leading to a surge in illegal mining. In an interview with City News, Engineer Ken Ashigbe called on the government to ensure such perpetrators are also dealt with legally.
It is important that we celebrate Otumfuo for taking the decision. And he's absolutely right that the DCE, the police, the EPA, the Minerals Commission, those who are in these communities who are supposed to work are not working. And the reason is because those we have put in charge to be able to police this themselves are either complicit or incompetent when it comes to handling the issues of Galamsey. So we all need to celebrate the Otufo and what he's doing, and I pray that other chiefs, other kings, other paramouncies would also start holding themselves accountable and holding their sub-chiefs. And I am also hoping that the president, the ministers, those who have been put in charge of dealing with this issue of Galamsey would start also doing the same thing. Let me tell you, one of the major challenges that we're beginning to face, but when it comes to the Chinese, when they are taken to court, one of the things that we're beginning to see is that for the lack of interpreters, they are set free. And so our appeal is to the Chief Justice to say that he needs to provide interpreters for these Chinese so that when these Chinese are arrested, we can take them through the entire process.
You heard convener for the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Ken Ashigbe. The Ghana Police Service secured convictions against 5 armed robbers involved in a series of robberies and carjacking incidents in the Ashanti region. The robbers, Jeffrey Jomo and Clifford Opoku, were each sentenced to 120 years for conspiracy and robbery, while Kwabnache Bafo received 105 years for dishonest receiving. Another person, Prince Opuni, was fined and given a 10-month sentence for reckless driving, and Henry Kusimafo was fined for supplying ammunition. 2 suspects were acquitted.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel where I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so. This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I'll go drive, sir. Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mindset be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there. Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside? I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small. Go. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Grocery shopping is easy with various items from ShopRite Achimota Retail Center branch. Tomatoes, pepper, cereals, beverages, and pastries are all available at ShopRite Achimota Retail Center. We always have amazing deals and unbelievable discounts to offer. And your vibes and kwa.
Hi, Aku. I just got the estimate for the home repairs. It's more than we expected. I'm really stressed about where to find the money.
Why worry, Musa? You are a salaried worker. Haven't you heard about the GCB personal loan promo? They can give you up to 700,000 Ghana cedis in less than 24 hours at a significantly reduced interest rate and fees.
Really? This sounds exciting, but is it easy to apply?
Super easy. Skip the stress. Get the cash with the GCB personal loan promo with a 1-month repayment holiday. Just visit a GCB bank branch near you or call 0302-634-922. Toll free 0800-422-422. No hassle, no stress.
Wow, I just got a notification. The loan is already in my account. That was fast.
Skip the stress and get the cash you need with GCB personal loan. Visit a branch near you today. Terms and conditions apply. GCB Bank, your bank for life.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inosaf. Let's settle for the details. The Chamber of Petroleum Consumers is predicting a sustained decline in the prices of petroleum products in the first pricing window of September. The Chamber also believes there will be some stability in the prices. In this News Desk report, City Business News' Daniel Sakite examines the developments that will influence the first pricing window in September.
The pricing windows in August saw fuel prices reduce marginally at the pumps, bringing some relief to consumers. State-owned Grow, for instance, reduced its prices and is currently selling a litre of petrol at 14 cedis 22 pesos, down from the 14 cedis 42 pesos in the first pricing window of August. The marginal reductions were attributed to declines in the prices of refined petroleum products on the international market and the relative stability of the cedi during the period. As the first pricing window of September approaches, developments on the international markets remain the same, with prices of refined petroleum products continuing to decline. Petrol, for instance, has seen a 5.85% decline and is now selling at $779 per metric ton. Are consumers then to expect further reductions at the pumps? Paul Erikofori is head of research and training at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, and he has been providing further insights.
So we've seen some form of stability with our cedi from the last pricing window. Combining all these factors, our computation arrives at, for the petrol, 13.99 cedis per litre. And then for the diesel, we are also looking at 14.34 per litre for diesel. Marginally, we are envisaging that if the OMCs will respond, perhaps they will maintain the prices. What we are predicting is that oil marketing companies will maintain prices across the board, and in some cases, if they want to shelve their margins, perhaps even decrease it further.
Head of Research and Training at the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Paul Erikofori, ending that report. Fitch Solutions has ranked Ghana as the second most attractive country for power supply among 18 sub-Saharan African nations. Ghana follows South Africa, with Botswana in third place. The report highlights that Ghana has one of the lowest power risk reward index scores in the sub-Saharan African region. The following report has more.
Ghana's risk or reward index stood slightly above 50%, with South Africa close to 50%. At the bottom of the ranking were Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique, all with very high risk or reward indices. Additionally, the UK-based firm noted that despite government efforts toward power market reforms and increased private sector involvement, the volatile political environment and weak governance structures in many countries undermine the success of these initiatives. For example, in Nigeria, ongoing conflict in the northern regions and widespread corruption have stalled the liberalization of the power sector, limiting the effectiveness of reforms and discouraging potential investors. Moreover, the economic outlook for sub-Saharan Africa is overshadowed by high debt levels and limited fiscal capacity.
That was a news desk report. Now, the government is importing about 350,000 metric tons of maize as part of its strategy to tackle the agricultural challenges brought on by the dry spell in the country. This is to plug in the production shortfall occasioned by the dry spell. While the government is mopping up stock from farmers and prioritizing the urgent importation of grains, it has also placed a temporary ban on the exportation of grains such as maize, rice, and soybean. Food and Agriculture Minister Brian Champong insists that the importation is crucial to improving the situation.
The importation of food. We're looking at maize, about 313 to 50,000 metric tons of maize. And we arrived at that quantity because we consume about 2.5 million metric tons of maize annually. Then half year is gone, so let's say about 1.2 million is already consumed. We intend to invest in the southern sector minor season. The southern sector minor season, which is starting now. We're going to give about 1 million farmers inputs, okay, to shore up the production in the southern sector. It has also since 20th August started raining up north, okay, and we have a short window of about 2 weeks to get inputs to farmers to also take advantage of that rains. We are hoping to recover both sectors about 600,000 metric tons of maize. So we're going to have a deficit of about 600,000. And we want to import, for now, 300,000 to fill that gap. And we're expecting the northern harvest to have hit the market by the end of September to October.
Brian Champong is the Food and Agriculture Minister. Now, Executive Director of the Cosmos Innovation Center, Benjamin Jan Kessie, is urging for increased funding and investment in agricultural infrastructure to support young entrepreneurs in the sector. He made this appeal during the Agriculture Innovation for Africa event, which aims to unite experts and stakeholders in the agricultural industry to collaborate and address critical issues facing the sector. In an interview, Jan Kessie emphasized the importance of tackling unemployment through agribusiness opportunities, which he believes can also contribute to the country's economic growth.
What is currently happening across the country with some parts of the country with dry spells and farmers are crying, this is a first step. We don't even know what is going to happen. So let us leverage on technology innovations. Let us also support these innovators who comes up with these innovations so that they can reach the last mile. That is a smallholder farmer. Let us bring more women into the food systems. We believe when we support the youth with the right structures and right kind of funding and support, we should be able to get really good opportunities for these youth to create jobs for themselves, for others, and also contribute largely to the reduction of food.
Executive Director of the Cosmos Innovation Center, Benjamin Jan Kessie. Over 300 exhibitors will be showcasing their authentic Made in Ghana products at the premises of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly this weekend as the highly anticipated This is Ghana exhibition kicks off. The two-day trade fair, organized by Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, is scheduled for Saturday, August 31 and Sunday, September 1, 2024. It presents an avenue for local, small and medium enterprises, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses and indigenous corporate bodies in Ghana to showcase their products and services. Head of Events and Partnerships at Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, Frema Edunyame, spoke to City Business News ahead of Saturday's event.
So the exhibition, yes, you are coming in to watch, and it's important. Sometimes when you hear move in there to.
That was the head of events and partnerships at Channel 1 TV and Citi FM, Frema Edunyame. The Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana has called for a comprehensive review of the country's tax policies, specifically focusing on the taxation of movable properties. This comes in the wake of concerns over the low rate of property tax collection by local assemblies, which has raised concerns about the adequacy of domestic revenue generation for social development projects. Speaking to the media on the sidelines of the National Tax Conference organized by Oxfam, President of the Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana, George Ohinekwetia, emphasized the need to broaden the tax net to include movable properties.
On property tax to the detriment of a much broader policy to deal with an increased urbanization, then you're going to have a challenge because you'll be focusing on taxing the properties which will be built by private enterprise to the detriment of providing certain amenities. And therefore, yes, that is great to talk about, but what I was also saying is that as an institute, we are also looking forward to having a collaboration with Oxfam for us to deal with other forms of property taxes, because this property tax we are talking about today is about immovable property, which is land and buildings. But we have other properties which are movable, and therefore there's a need to talk about taxation of movable properties.
George Ohinekwetia is president of the Chartered Institute of Taxation Ghana. That's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inosafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens. If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is, where the passion is, where the laughter is, and sometimes even the tears too. Let's go where we feel safe enough to share our opinions
and send tweets,
where we do that embarrassing little dance to our favorite song. Let's go home where the love, the care and the joy live.
There
There's no place like home. Connect your home to super fast internet with affordable data bundles from MTN Home. Visit broadband.mtn.com.gh or your My MTN app to sign up today. MTN.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you ready to turn your dreams into reality? Don't just dream it, own it with a loan from Fidelity Bank. Dreaming of a new home? Own it with Fidelity Mortgage Loan. Dreaming of smelling the scent of a brand new tear rubber car? Own it with Fidelity Auto Loan. Dreaming of getting the latest phone, TV, fridge, furniture, laptop or gaming console? Own it with Fidelity Consumer Asset Finance. Dreaming of expanding your business? Make it a reality with our business loan. Fidelity Bank is offering flexible loans to businesses, salaried workers and the self-employed at a competitive rate. Dial 0800 003355 or visit any of our branches nationwide today to turn your dream into reality with a Fidelity Bank loan. Terms and conditions apply. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
Fidelity. If I believe with us, Fidelity. If I know I need your side, Fidelity.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Citi FM. It's time now for Point Blank. Point Blank tonight will throw the spotlight on the This Is Ghana exhibition, which will take place tomorrow, August 31 and September 1, 2024. At the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Now, this year's event highlights Ghana's vibrant SME sector and its expanding influence in the global market. Joining us via telephone is the head of events and partnerships here at Citi FM and Channel 1 Television, Frema Edunyame. Good evening, Frema.
Good evening, Nana.
Thank you for your time. I want to suspect or believe that you are currently at the AMA, ensuring that everything is in order for the 5th edition of the This Is Ghana exhibition.
You are not too far from right. We are currently at the AMA. Setup is going on, and we are just getting ourselves ready to host our exhibitors and patrons tomorrow and on Sunday.
So kindly run us through tomorrow and Sunday. Paint us a picture. Why should we be there? What is expected to happen?
We are going to have the This Is Ghana exhibition. The much anticipated exhibition finally is here, and it's happening at the AMA, Accra Metropolitan Assembly, tomorrow, Saturday, August 31 and September 1. That is on Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, this is a gathering of Ghanaian companies. This exhibition spans across various, almost all sectors. We have real estate coming, we have education, we have hospitality, financial institutions are coming. We have state regulators coming. We have the FDA coming. We have the Ghana Standards Authority coming. We have the Ghana Atomic Energy coming. There's recently been a ban on the exportation of grain. This suggests that there is huge opportunity in the agri sector. It's very important for people who want to go into business, who want to venture into other areas, to be at the exhibition. If we have seed producers coming in, we have atomic energy coming in. These guys are producing so much. We sometimes limit ourselves to what people are doing, what institutions, companies are doing. They offer services in various ways, innovative ways that you can increase your yield as a farmer. And so it is an exhibition for everyone. It's also time for us to come in as patrons to come and see what Ghana is producing. People are doing so much. We have the admissions check. If you have a child in school, secondary school, this is a way to check what university your child with his or her grades can get. So much is happening. We need to all come there, support each other. If you're not exhibiting, just come. Admission is free anyway. So just come in, look at what people are producing. If you're also into business, come in to the seminars, get to learn more in how you can increase revenue. And so, yes, this is very important. We have great entertainment as well. Kwampa is coming. We have the Adaha Dance Band coming as well. And there will be a beautiful and delicious food court that's also going to be indigenous Ghanaian cuisine. And so tomorrow and Sunday, nothing should be in your way. We all have to be at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Mama.
Right, Femana, we also know that as part of the 5th edition, there will be some seminars as well. Kindly tell us about that.
Right, so we have organized the exhibition for 4 years, and we have come to an understanding that people want to know more, beyond just bringing in their products and services and processes. They also want some more engagement in how they can take things to the next level. And so this year we have 4 sessions of the seminar. We have one on how to package your goods for export. We have one in opportunities in oil and gas. We have another seminar on digital marketing. We have another one on how to manage your finances. We believe that as we come out to exhibit our produce, if we come out to also patronize the products that are being exhibited, it's very important for us to understand the technicalities of what we are doing. And so sometimes we need to sit down, have a business conversation, have the theory aspect of what we are doing to understand probably why certain things are not working the way we expect them to work. Come in, ask questions. People are experts in these areas. If you decide to go to school to learn this, you're going to pay so much. This is, if I can put it, a crash course that you can enroll in just for this weekend. And then out of the seminar, you realize what you have achieved and how you can better use this to grow your business.
Very well, Frema. Thank you so much for your time this evening, and we'll all be there. We encourage all Ghanaians to be at the forecourt of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly for the 5th edition of the This is Ghana exhibition. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Frema Edunyame is the head of events and partnerships here at Citi FM and on Channel 1 television. Let's also deal with another matter that has been in the news over the period. Now, the Member of Parliament for Ebuakwa South, Samuel Atachia, has come under some fire, especially from the camp of the National Democratic Congress, who's calling, of course, on the MP to apologize to former President John Dramani Mahama over a comment they believe is actually directed at him. Now, Mr. Atachia was speaking in the Eastern region where he addressed a crowd and encouraged them to remain optimistic about the prospect of excellent governance under Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's leadership. The Honorable Samuel Atachia has joined us via telephone. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for your time. Let me get straight to it and find out from you exactly what you meant with this statement, which, of course, interpretation by some comes, including that of the NDC, has likened your statement as one directed at John Dramani Mahama. Exactly what did you mean to say?
I wanted to say that when we are having crisis as a nation and it's economic in nature, then it's God who's helped us, and we have a Moses who is an expert in economics. So Ghana is going to have, for the first time, an economist as a president to solve the economic problems that we are complaining about. He is not only an economist, he's a very decent man. And during his tenure as vice president, and even for the 60 years I had partnered with Akufo-Addo, there's never been any kind of altercation and, if you like, fight and the rest of it, as was witnessed between Aka and President Rawlings. So he's a very decent man. And I also respect his discipline, that he's not only an economist, but he doesn't drink alcohol. That's all that I said.
But, Honorable, the NDC is calling on you to apologize because in their own interpretation, your statement suggests that the NDC flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, is a drunkard or an alcoholic.
It's pathetic because you can't glean that from what I said. And what I said was not a fetish. It was video evidence. If you pay regard to what I said, I'm afraid it could be the wild imagination of the General Secretary of NDC, Honorable Fifi Kwete.
Fifi Kwete, yes.
Fifi Kwete. Or West, probably he's talking about he leaking out a state secret. Because how can you say that there are several people who are vying to become president, but this is a special cap you want your own flag bearer to wear? Truly speaking, if we have logic and common sense to go by, he should resign. Because you have rather besmeared the man. I've never said one word against him. I'm stalling our flag bearer. And I have every right to say that we are blessed with the president for the first time. Because even Kwame Nkrumah was not an economist. So I was stalling the flag bearer. And I respect what the Bible says, if you permit me to quote. Proverbs 31, 4-6. It is not for kings, O Lamiel. It is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes intoxicating drink, lest they drink and forget the Lord, and pervert the justice of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter of heart. So I am saying that if anybody can go with this biblical discipline, then he's a bonus to Ghana. It's a value addition to Ghana. That's what I was trying to stress. But there was no way anybody can extrapolate from what I said that I'm pointing to former President Mahama. It's pathetic. And he should be sanctioned by his own party that he's brought in the president into this, shame and disgrace.
Honorable, I just want to put in here that the General Secretary of the NDC, Fifi Kwete, has dissociated himself from this statement. He says that he's not issued or authored any such statement. So I just wanted to put that in there. However, you do stand by what you said, that you were only extolling the Vice President and flag bearer of the NPP and not necessarily casting any insinuations at anyone.
Precisely. And it should be investigated. If this is something to, recall his balderdash, then it should be investigated. Because you can't throw in, nobody is permitted to throw in such a wild thing in the public domain for even to set me up for nothing. So I believe that the state apparatus and investigation bodies of this country should look into this matter. It shouldn't end. If now somebody might have realized that this is his own way of embarrassing former President Mahama, this attempt to sort of, say that it's been recanted, at least might be done. I believe it calls for investigations.
Honorable, in an election year, so many things are said, and we also know that it's a contest between individuals who have put themselves out there to be elected as president of this country. And so, I mean, there's argument over this statement that you made. Are we to take your word for it that really there was no malice aforethought when you made the statement?
There wasn't any malice aforethought. It's the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Baumia, not an economist. Is it not so?
He is.
Is it? Yes. Is he not? Has he not shown a very decent person? Yeah, that he hasn't got jingoistic attitudes and is well cultured. It is a fact. Is it also not a fact that indeed he doesn't drink any alcohol? And that's a discipline in the Bible and also a discipline in the Quran. If you want me to quote the Quran, I'll quote you the Quran. So where is the malice aforethought? When somebody says Accra is the capital of Ghana, where is the malice aforethought? Is it not a fact? It's embarrassing that anybody would want to, assume that and imagine for me what I'm trying to put across. But it is sad also that you are rather pointing to, the flag bearer of the NDC, that these are his propensities. It's sad. I don't know whoever might want to do this. And if it's not difficulty, who signed this document, and then we should fish out, the individual who is trying to poison the atmosphere with this kind of balderdash.
But how have you as a person taken what you have just described as a balderdash, the backlash that has followed this comment that you made?
Well, it's very juvenile. If you read the content of that letter and they are now saying it's not coming from difficulty, that a man should retract and apologize for what he has not said. If you listen to the tape, I didn't say that. How can you retract relating to a matter you've not said? It's not an abuse of language to say that somebody should retract something is not said. And rather, if it is your foul imagination, then you are fixed with it. It's not mine. It's unfortunate.
Very well. Honorable, is it also not a fact that Dr. Baumia, as an economist, heads the Economic Management Committee, yet the economy is in its current state?
Well, that is one of the juvenile arguments that has been rehashed time and time with that number, so that they think that every problem that Ghana is facing is from Dr. Baumia. The Economic Management Team, if you understand what it means, is an advisory body. When they are reading the budget, and you've been in the parliament, the budget is always read at the behest of the president. When you proffer a view and an opinion, it's not binding on the president. It is not Dr. Baumia who determines who the finance minister should be. So when people believe that, when we make Dr. Baumia look bad because we are going through economic challenges, it is a convenient argument for them to make. You understand? But the question which everybody will ask that, you couldn't even solve doomsday, and Ghana was plunged into darkness for 4 years. You never had experience with the COVID, and then the Ukraine-Russia war was never your portion. But look at how you struggled. So if you have gone through the kind of international economic challenges that, the whole world faced, and the economies of the world contracted, maybe Ghana's economy would have comatose. So please, when we are doing the measurement, we should do it properly. But I can assure you that this is the biggest opportunity for the economic problems to be solved, because I'm an expert. Economists through and through will be in charge as the president of Ghana. And who can go and second guess how to run the economy? Who is the finance minister who begin to sort of play with the intelligence of the president? Or what is the economic management that will be bringing him second-hand understanding of the economy when he's an economist himself? I believe that is a very, very auspicious and God-given moment for Ghanaians, and economists will come and get us out of the doldrums.
So Ghanaians can trust Dr. Baumia with the future of the economy?
He will be in charge. And you know what it means to be a vice president. You know. The vice president is not in charge of the country. The vice president might give quiet counsel. It behoves the president to, with respect, take the counsel or not to take the counsel. And when you see a decent man who will not come to the opening to fight, don't take him for granted. The man has shock absorbers. The man has been good. He's shown that he's a gentleman through and through, well-cultured. He has the expertise, more than all the competitors, to run the economy. Because the economy is what they are drumming home all the time as a problem that they think is bad. And then when the economy is bad, then you should be made the president. No. When the economy is bad, you shouldn't be made the president. When you show that you can solve the economic problems, then you should be made the president. And that's what is coming out strong with. Showing us the way out of the crisis.
Honorable, now we know that you're not coming back to Parliament. However, we are in an electioneering season. So, what is your own contribution to the campaign? One for whoever succeeds you, and of course for Dr. Bawumia on the presidential ticket.
The first thing I want to say that we should take out any attitudes of violence out of this election moment. I'm telling you, the democracies of what's it called, America and the rest of them, they've been there for about 200 years. It is only when we believe that democracy will thrive on the sanity of voting, no more, that this democracy will thrive. But I can't see any chaotic nation that can build prosperity. So I'll crave the indulgence of those who are trying to now making war drums, as if they don't come to power, something serious is going to happen to this country to stop that kind of thing. It's not going to help them. They cannot even, survive in violence. Whoever might want to do that. That's the first thing I think should be my gospel message when I'm campaigning, that, look, we don't need chaos. It's just you going to express your point of view, even if you've come to terms with the policies, not the noise and the propaganda of those who want to be president, if you've really looked at it or they've helped you in that area. And then the second point is that I believe that everybody who thinks about the future of this country being in a safer hand, because he's going to come back. Dr. Mohamed Maya is going to come back the next 4 years to account to the people of this country that this is how he succeeded in getting us out of the economic doldrums. If nobody is going to come, the second person who is not going to come back and account, then it will be a lottery to give it to the one who will not account. It is an honeymoon period, and the devil may care. Whether it fares well or it doesn't fare well, he's not coming back to seek votes again. The one who has an incentive to come back will be alert and be responsible to the serious matters that people are complaining about. So these are some of the matters that I'm going to let people know anywhere I go, that we shouldn't gamble with the future of this country.
Very well. Notwithstanding the issues as it is, and of course this allegation made against you, what should the nature of the political discourse be heading into the election?
I think I've said it, and I keep saying it. Now, when you have a toothache, you don't give it to a carpenter, you give it to a dentist. And therefore, if what is uppermost in the minds of people are the economic challenges, which are not just ordinary times, because of the twin forces of COVID and also the Russia-Ukraine war, being some serious factors which plummeted the fortunes of this country. Then why gamble? Give it to the one who has the expertise. He's not going to take any second-hand information from economic management. He's not going to be schooled by a finance minister. He has a track record as an economist through and through. And I believe that is how we should go. If it's economic health of the nation, then give it to the expert. And I believe, humbly, that it's Dr. Mohamed Bawumia who can take us to the next stage and let us come out of the current circumstances of this nation.
Very well, Honorable. Thank you so much for your time this evening, and we wish you well.
My joy as always.
Honorable Samuel Atachia is the Member of Parliament for Buakwa South. This will be it for Point Blank, which has been live on Eyewitness News here on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Nanatufo Boateng. I did this with Eno Safo. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson, Sami Wiafe, Bevelyn London. Technical support, Emmanuel Latte and Edwin Kwaukofi on socials. Many thanks to you for listening. Next is the most riveting sports show on radio, Sports Panorama. Have a good evening.